What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and I'll be completely honest, I don't really have a plan for today's video. There's nothing in particular that I'm really here to do or anything. I'm just kind of playing a video game, right? You know, I'm just kind of playing some more Call of Duty, working on upgrading all the weapons, getting all the actual camo, calling cards, or whatever unlocked. But as you can tell by the title, I don't really have a thumbnail or a specific theme for this video. I'm just kind of bored, and that's kind of something I've noticed recently, is like, especially when, you know, I've completed a big grind. I mean, you know, I was really focused for the longest time on getting this interstellar camo in this game, so after I completed it, I was like, well, now what? You know, I can go ahead and do this little camo grind or whatever, get these little charms, but at the same time, that was never really the focus for me, right? I didn't care about the charms too much. I cared about getting the interstellar camo, so now I'm sitting there and I have the camo, I'm like, well, I guess I could play other games. I guess I could do this grind a little bit more. You know, I could do something in between 50-50 or whatever else. And I never really quite figured out what I wanted to do. I mean, I sat here for like 2 hours with my ring light on, as you can see the little ring light reflection back there, being like, what do I record? I could record this. I opened up Call of Duty, closed it. Opened up Call of Duty, closed it. Opened up Call of Duty, then instantly laid in bed and watched TikTok for an hour, and then realized I left Call of Duty open on my computer, so I closed it, right? It was just a back and forth of like, what do I even do? What do I want to do? And I've been trying to play some other games as well, but sometimes, you know, you launch a game and you're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm enjoying this a little bit, and then you just kind of sit there and you're like, well, now I'm not enjoying it. Now I don't really care. Now I don't want to play the game or whatever. I'm bored or whatnot, so you close the game, but that's how you, like, did the last 5 games you played or anything like that. So it goes over and over and over again of this cycle of just being like, I want to play this game, launch the game, I'm bored of this game, launch another game, I don't want to play this game. And that's just kind of what I've been experiencing today, right? But you know, I still want to make a YouTube video, have the every other day upload streak going on, at least until the end of this month. You know, it's going to be a little bit weird once we go into like next month or whatnot, and I don't even want to like have a daily double upload streak or anything like that going consistently on this channel anyways. It's just kind of whenever I want to type of thing. But of course, you know, I wanted to see how long I could keep it going until other things intervene. Now, other than all of that, you know, I've been watching a lot of Japan travel vlogs and a lot of like guides on what to do, what not to do in Japan, all the type of stuff, because I do have the whole entire trip I plan to take to Japan and Tokyo and Kyoto, Nagoya, all that type of stuff coming up in the near future. So, you know, I want to make sure I'm prepared and everything. But man, the more I look into that stuff, right, the more questions I end up having. And like, you know, some parts of me want to be like, you know, make sure everything is ticked, make sure I know absolutely everything I'm getting myself into. You know, I am going to be able to consistently do everything else, have everything prepared for every single day, all that type of stuff. But at the exact same time, I'm also like, well, what if I just kind of at this point YOLO certain things, right? It's like, you know, I have a lot of knowledge on certain things, what to do, what not to do, all that type of stuff, but I'm not going to be able to be knowledgeable on every single thing. I mean, I'm someone who has never really even been on a plane before or traveled to too many locations, so it's not like I'm just going to be able to watch one video and understand every in and out of not only just going to Japan, Tokyo, all that type of stuff, but also going on planes, traveling, and all that. So it ends up becoming a situation where I'm like, in some cases, you gotta just kind of YOLO it, right? There's certain things that you do just gotta YOLO at the end of the day and figure out while you're there. You know, you just kind of gotta go into the unknown. I'm sorry to that teammate who I keep team killing. I apologize. If you ever see this video, which I know you won't, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I give you my condolences, everything else. But, you know, it is something where I'm like, I have to YOLO some things. But at the other side, I'm like, I'm going into a place where I know nobody. I want to have everything prepared, so if there's any dangers or anything, I will be safe. But then again, that's life. Everywhere you go, even if you're used to where you live currently, you are going to have issues. You're going to have unknown situations pop up, and maybe you won't in certain times, but other times you will. It ends up just being a balancing act of being prepared for the worst, regardless of if you're in a place that's unfamiliar to you, or if you're in a place that is super familiar to you that you've lived in your whole entire life. So that's kind of what I've been doing today, right? My whole entire mind, and maybe that's what one thing is like bogging me down recently or whatever, is just having my mind so set on like trying to prepare for Japan, but at the exact same time, not over preparing and leaving some things up to fate and mystery, so I can just fulfill the dreams of what Twitter users typically tell me on a daily basis, which is to get lost, because that's practically what's going to happen when I'm in Japan. So if you're someone who hates me over on Twitter and you want me to get lost, don't worry, your dreams are coming soon, very, very soon. Maybe it's more of a pleasant pleasant type of getting lost than you may be wanting me to have. But at the same time, it's still in that genre, so I think it's good at the end of the day. Wouldn't you guys agree? Oh, I'm sorry, teammate. I know one thing that I'm worried about, though, is, any last minute delays or whatever on the trip, because, I have all this set in stone, and it's getting to a point now where I've researched enough, I feel okay about it, to the point where I almost want the trip to be sooner rather than later. I'm sitting here like, what if I got an extra week there, leave a week earlier or something like that, and I'm like, no, you're not changing dates. 6 weeks is already a lot of time, because that's how long I plan to be gone, is like 6 weeks in Japan. And, you don't need to go ahead and add extra time. At that point, you might as well just move to Japan and live there, Fire Monkey. So I'm like, you know what, I'm chill with the time I've got scheduled. We just kind of got to let the time tick by, do a little bit more research while we wait for the mythical Japan trip day to actually arrive. And then, of course, content's going to be a little weird on all my social medias, but we will still make it work. I will make videos while in Japan. Let's just hope that Call of Duty or whatever else doesn't release like a limited time camo and then end up being like, oh yeah, you have to earn 5 billion XP, because I don't care if I'm in Japan, I don't care if I'm in Tokyo or any of those places. I will play the game a little bit here and there. I'll complete my challenges, I'll get my free reward, because just because I'm gone doesn't mean that my gaming habits have to die as well. I will continue all of the gaming habits in the world, and I'm so glad that grenade actually managed to hit that person, because I think that just got me 2 different calling cards. Hold on. Return to sender. Yep, there's one of them. Did I get the mastery calling card for completing all of them? No, it appears. Oh, yep, there we go. We got the mastery calling card. Hype. That was one I was trying to get the other day. I was like going out of my way nonstop, throwing grenades back and everything. But especially in hardcore mode, I'd either die right when I tried picking it up, or, the enemy would actually end up having the grenade and just like right before I threw it or anything, killing me. So, it never ended up affecting them. Or I'll just throw it into the bottomless pit or a void where no one actually got affected by it at all, because it just literally didn't touch anyone. So it's nice to have that calling card out of the way, not have to worry about it anymore. And it just kind of makes me have another thing to grind if I really get bored, right? If I really want to grind something in this game, if I really need a reason to keep me occupied, I can go for calling cards as well. I won't really use them. I've just been using the same anime calling card the entire time. But if I have to, if I really want to distract myself, that option is at the very least available for me. So I guess that makes me a little bit happier. But with that said, this isn't really a video that really had a specific topic or anything, just kind of talking about what I've been up to today. I've been kind of dealing with that whole entire situation of feeling like playing games, but also not at the same time. And I've been starting to play Monster Hunter Rise. I want to get into a lot more single player games, so maybe you'll see that on the channel a little bit here and there. I know like Monster Hunter Rise isn't exactly single player, it has some multiplayer aspects as well, so I'll kind of dip into my toes into those. But I think for 2024, my whole entire goal is just to kind of experience things, get lost, not only in the land of going to a million different places, because right now, my only trip away from where I live is basically going to be Japan, but at the same time, get lost in different genres, watch more anime, play more games I typically wouldn't have played, instead of sitting to the same 3 or 4 games nonstop, playing them over and over and over again until my fingers get numb. Experience the different genres that are out there and have some fun with it, maybe even meet some new people, try making some new friends, hang out with some more people or whatever online, and having a good time. It's just kind of a year where I want to experiment with things and just figure out, how I can continue evolving just not only the content I make online, how I do everything, but also just my personality, who I am as a person. How can I evolve that to be the best version of me humanly possible? And how can I make stories that could be great dad lore for future Fire Monkey, right? In the future, if I ever have a kid or anything, I want to have all these stories that I can tell them, be like, back in my days, do you remember when Fortnite had this insane collaboration? Oh, I was the one who broke the news. No one knew about the collaboration until I did. Maybe the Epic employees or whatever else did, but I was the one who informed the general public. I am the news guy at the end of the day. And stuff like that. Just gotta build up some lore and then have my kid or whatever else in the future be like, Dad, stop making up fake stories, when the whole entire time they were entirely real stories. So with that said, hope champs and chambettes enjoyed this little bit of a rambly video, just kind of chilling with me for like 9 minutes, and until next time, I'll catch you guys a little bit later with another upload. Peace out.